Do you guys hear that sound? That's the sound
it.
of Key sparkling water, guys. They come in 3 distinct flavors: key lime, blood orange, cherry, and pineapple passion fruit. If you guys head over to keysparklingwater.com and use the promo code TMS24, you will save 20% off your first order. And also, I mean, I'm sick. I'm not going to say what I was sick with because I think YouTube actually takes videos down if you mention it. But this has been a game changer for me. I've just been hammering these seltzers, getting better. Yeah, a little hydrate, a little nasally. Sorry about that. But guys, again, that's keysparklingwater.com. TMS24 saves you 20%. It's good stuff. Brownie, your package is in the mail, buddy. It is in the mail. So
yeah, listen, if you're out there buying some Key sparkling water and you're in the Boston area, reach out. I'd like to try it. I mean, supposedly it's pretty good. They don't have that stinky Jersey flavor yet, but someday we can only hope.
Someday we can only hope. Let's hop into it. Let's talk hockey. Episode 319. We just released 318 tonight, so you're going to hear this 319 in the morning. Episode 318 was released February 7th. Brownie, you want to talk about that real quick so people understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so as you all know, or I hope you know, there's this tournament in Boston called the Bean Pot. The men play the first 2 Mondays in February. The women now this year were in January. They separated them out, and the women, for the first time ever, got to play at the TD Garden, home of your Boston Bruins. They set an attendance record, 10,633. I think it was.
A lot of people.
Yeah, it was the biggest women's hockey crowd in New England history. Northeastern won in overtime. Skylar Irving keep the change. So on the run up to it, we had on Kelly Dyer Hayes, who's now been on 3 times. Goaltender.
She's been on more than Hal.
Yeah, goaltender, NU Hall of Famer, the 3rd woman to play men's professional hockey, USA hockey. We had also Linda Lundergan, who coached and played in the Bean Pot. She won as a coach, won as a player, also in the Bean Pot Hall of Fame. And then Mary Chiampa from Women X, which is a continuing education group that women teaching women, and very just awesome powerhouse people that big plans, big ideas, and they follow through, man. It's not just like you and me coming up with stuff.
Whoa.
So, well, we follow through, but they're like big stuff. I mean, we're getting sponsors. They're so they came
That's
on.
Fair.
They came on to talk about the experiences of the Bean Pot, and we had a Bean Pot wrap up, and that was Saturday morning. And they came on to talk about their experiences, what they're planning next. So it's like 35-40 minutes, really interesting. They're so passionate. You get so fired up talking to them about women's hockey. You really do. So there you go.
All right, man. Well, I'd love to hear that, dude. So we have that released tonight. Yes, this will be released tomorrow morning, unless you're watching live on Twitter, X, YouTube, or our Facebook, which reached 13,000 followers today.
13K.
We're at like 1,000 a clip, pretty much.
It's crazy.
Just out here wheeling and dealing.
All these angry people commenting away and following us.
yeah. I feel like we're just kind of pissing everybody off.
A lot of heat. There's a lot of heat on Facebook.
There is. But there's a lot of heat on Facebook, so there's a lot of heat going on in the NHL. So let's just kind of hop into it, man. We're going to do our mea culpas, figure out what the fuck we got wrong last week.
Hi, this is Mea Culpa, and I'm here to introduce the Morning Skates Mea Culpas with Ked and Brownie.
Can we talk about your voice?
It's not good.
No, what I told you today.
Oh, yeah. You can talk about it if you want to.
I was talking to a friend of mine who listened to the podcast, and he told me that I had a good voice for radio, which is, I told him, I go, normally you say to someone, you have a good face for radio, like a joke, right? Making fun of me. He goes, no, I like your voice, your accents, not too obnoxious and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, and the way you and Ked banter back and forth, he goes, but he's got a voice like a zipper, which I don't really know what he meant, but it's accurate. Does that make sense?
I don't know if it's accurate, man. I think it sounds really good. Actually, do you hate the sound of your own voice? Because I hate the sound of my own voice.
I very infrequently listen to the sound of my own voice. So
I mean, I have to when I'm going in and editing shit and making sure everything's okay. So,
all right. So mea culpas.
yeah, fuck off, dude. I have a good voice.
Yeah, for a zipper.
Yeah.
Daniel Briere did play a season in Montreal. I don't know who I was thinking of, man.
No.
I still can't figure it out. And the only way I'm going to figure it out is start looking at the rosters of the Canadians from the late 80s. I'm not going to do that.
Late 80s.
Or, I mean, the 90s. I don't know.
Brownie, that will take you, if you start from 95, that'll take you 10 minutes max. I need to figure out who this player is. You can literally go right on like Hockey DB and you can
and
keep
click
clicking on each one of them.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely a player out there. I'm thinking it's like Plekanec or like Dale Weiss.
I thought it might be McCann. Oh, stay hot, Brownie.
Yeah.
I thought it might be the turtleneck. But I was like, maybe. But I know who Thomas Plekanec is. I don't.
Is it the Russian defenseman had a plate in his head but won a fight? Is it that guy? Hal hated that guy.
Oh,
that was his name. Alexei Emlin. Was it him?
No. I think it was a forward, if I remember correctly.
Paul Byron.
No, all right, let's not do this. And then to just completely have to slog uphill last week when I was telling you to look up highlights of Gordy Roberts, and then after we finished the podcast, I was like, I want to watch some of these Gordy Roberts highlights. I put it on, and I'm like, oh, I meant Gary Roberts.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, Gary Roberts is awesome. I mean, Gordy Roberts, don't get me wrong, he's a very good player. But
I still don't even know who Gordy Roberts is. Is there like 3 highlights of that guy? Who's that guy?
Well, he was like a stay-at-home defenseman. I mean, he was solid though.
Just a mixtape of him going glassing out and cross-checking people. Hell
yeah, it's very much like your highlight.
Yeah, dude, I can relate.
But Gary Roberts is a nail gun.
Just pinned in your defensive zone, just gasping for breath. Oh my god, dude! I had a tweet today that it didn't go viral. Should have. I finally figured out what Blake Wheeler looks like. So if you play hockey, you can.
I'm going to tell you who Blake Wheeler. When you're done, he looks just like this other person. But go ahead.
All right, you can absolutely identify with this if you played hockey before. So like you play hockey, and then shit comes up in your life. So you don't skate for let's say 3 months, 6 months, a long time, right? And your first skate back, your buddy's like, "Hey, why don't you come skate?" And you're like, "Well, how is it skate? Not too bad." You get there, and there's a bunch of like junior B players that like go 100 miles an hour, and you're like, "Shit." So you get on the ice. You haven't skated in forever. You don't want to bend over because your body hurts so bad. You're so soft on your stick because you can't bend over. And as you're going up the ice, you're pumping your arms to make yourself look like you're going fast. You get a shot on net and you get off the ice. That is exactly what Blake Wheeler looks like every night he plays for the Rangers. Is just so fucking. That's our problem, dude, is we have the most washed up player in the league on our first line. It's bad. It's really bad.
Well, if you look at a side-by-side picture of if Blake Wheeler has facial hair and this actor has facial hair, they look like twins. Christian Bale.
I think he'd take that.
Yeah. Yeah. And also Blake Wheeler, I think it's Blake Wheeler, has like the best Twitter handle. He's like Biggie Funk or something like that. I think he's into like 90s rap.
I'm sure he's a good guy. I love him. I love his effort. You can't question his effort, but that's exactly what he looks like. We've all been there before, and it's took me the whole year to be like, why is he so like? How can I identify?
What did they sign him for? $1 million?
Less. It was like bare minimum, but now it totally makes sense. I remember I was on the boat. We had a big party on the boat, free agent frenzy, and I found out we got Blake Wheeler. I called all my buddies. I'm like, the Stanley Cup parade is back on, and now it's February 7th, and I'm like, I could probably skate as fast as that guy. So that's where we're at now. But those are mea culpas. Let's get into NHL in the news. All right, NHL's news time. We had the All Star Game. Now, I'm going to get ahead of myself, and I'm just going to say I didn't really get to watch too much of it. I watched a lot of stuff on social media where I found those types of things. So I'm going to kind of go through these things, and if I butcher it, you just let me know, okay?
Do you know how many minutes of the All Star the entire weekend I watched live?
This is the morning skate difference working right now. All right. So, of course, the first thing on this list is the fact that Jeremy Swayman can't go a single second without hugging somebody. Swayman tried to give away hugs to goalies heading out. Everybody obliged except for Vancouver, which I like that. I don't know if that was like a still rival kind of thing. Keep that.
There's no one left on Vancouver.
I know, but like keep that spice alive.
Oh,
like
yeah,
I fucking hate the Kings. Like if Shesty did something stupid where he gave everybody hugs and the Kings guy came out and he kind of stone cold them, I'd be like, all right with that.
I don't have a problem with it. I just thought it was funny, but I just think it's like so petty that Demko wouldn't hug him. Ottinger, I think when Ottinger hugged him, the clip I saw, Ottinger goes, "Do you feel like you're cheating on your wife or something like that?"
Pretty much. He's just like a weird dude who just wants to hug people.
Swing's
But
a
goalies
happy
are
guy,
weird dudes. All right. Brownie, take it away. Nikita Kucherov.
Oh, this fucking twat.
So I've seen polar opposite arguments.
No,
but I want to. What I will say this though, dude, is I read your blog, and I was like, damn, that was aggressive. But I understand where he's coming from, right? So I'm kind of just thinking to myself, like, okay, and you text me, he's like, hey, can I name this blog Nikita Kucherov's a twat? And I was like, well, maybe not. But so you went back and edited it. So not 2 minutes after I read this blog, Cronin texts me, our St. Louis guy, and he goes, did Kucherov hit Brownie's dog with a car or something? LOL, which I thought was really, really funny. A lot of people hated it. A lot of people loved it. Jeremy Roenick came on and said that, listen, there's a lot of people that set up this event. A lot of people behind the scenes who kind of put this on. The kids are watching it, and essentially Kucherov spit on their face of everybody.
100%. 100%. So Kucherov went out there and, in my opinion, embarrassed himself, his organization.
I don't think he cared about himself. I think if you asked him if he embarrassed himself, he'd say no.
Right, because he's a douche. Sure. And he made a mockery of the whole thing. I mean, listen, you don't have to go balls to the wall, but like I said in my blog, somewhere in Florida, which is a wildless, godforsaken piece of the country. I understand that.
Love Florida.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's called Florida for a reason. Yeah, thank you. There's some kids wearing Kucherov jerseys, and then they watch this performance, and that's how I ended the blog. Do you like that ricochet shot to Matthews? I was like, that's why you end up with guys that are all about themselves, and it's a picture of that fucking donkey. We were great, Austin Matthews. You won the MVP. How many fucking cups you got, you chooch? Yeah, hey. I know I probably sound like the old guy yelling at the clouds, and you should fucking try hard, but you should be glad you're there, and you should do it for the kids. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go off on a divergent plan here, or a path. I mean, when I was coaching, I coached high school lacrosse, right? I mean, whatever. It's high school sports. It's varsity level. We were competitive. We had good kids. We had some fucking real bad apples. And there was this one player who got awarded second team All-Star. He had never gotten second team, never gotten any type of All-Star. This kid did not have the physical gifts, but he worked his fucking bag off. So at the coaches meeting, I fought for him. I was like, look, he does shutdown work. He's always on the top guy. He grinds. They're all like, yeah, no, we get it. He ground ball fucking master, right? Everything you can want from a player. Didn't have the natural skills. This other fucking donkey got in a fight, got kicked out. He still got second team All-Star. So we're at the banquet. I hand the first kid his second team All-Star. He was so excited, so happy. His fucking douchebag buddy, I give him his second, and he was all pouty, like, oh, second team? I don't want it. I'm like, you know what? I went over to his parents. I'm like, get him the fuck out of here. I was so mad. Like, I was like, are you 18 yet? Can I knock your fucking teeth out? It's like, it's an honor to be there. You should try to do the right thing, put in the effort. If you take the fucking suspension, well, that's the other thing. The NHL shouldn't suspend these guys if they don't want to go. That's idiotic too.
You know? No, I agree with that. I don't watch a lot of the Lightning games, but they played the Rangers tonight, so obviously right. I was watching Kucherov a bit. I tell you what, you can say all these things about him, and I think I agree with most of the stuff that you say. He was easily the best player on the ice tonight, and I've always kind of thought he was like 100%. A little over. I always thought he was kind of like a little overrated, but holy fuck, man, the vision he has, and like he's just so fucking silky, dude. Like he's an undercover killer, dude. Like he's so good.
That goes so mad at me. We're all Tampa fans. I never said he couldn't play. Never once did I say he couldn't play. I said he doesn't play on the back check, and he floats. And those are accurate statements. But what the fuck? Like, the NHL, what they should do, if you don't want to go, you have to give 2 game checks to a charity or something like that. And that way the NHL will get their fucking pound of flesh.
That's fair.
You know? Sorry.
Connor McDavid
choosing... hit my dog. I just don't like his attitude.
Connor McDavid choosing Florida Sam Bobrovsky. Did he get the name wrong?
He called him Sam when he was up there picking the guy.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
not a great look.
Nope.
Sidney Crosby missed one day of the All Star game to skate solo in full pads in an outdoor rink in Montana.
Did you see that video?
Yeah, he talks about how he went there a few summers ago when there was that PGA golf tournament with like Brady and like all those guys, and he really liked. He wanted to go back. It was kind of cool seeing like arguably one of the best players that we'll ever see ever, just out on his own outdoor rink, just chilling, still working on his game too. Like he was still like actually doing drills to like make himself better.
I'm sure the footage of Kucherov doing the same thing got lost.
Well, I thought that was cool. David Pastrnak kissed the B to the crowd when being booed. I mean, dirtiest player in the game.
Love that, though.
Dirtiest player in the game. Justin Bieber got to skate warm-ups. They had him fully mic'd up. I feel like this wasn't an NHL All Star game. I feel like this was just Justin Bieber's fantasy factory with NHL players. That's kind of like how they presented it. Like I feel like this had nothing to do with the NHL. This all had everything to do with Justin Bieber.
Well,
and a lot of people don't like
wants him, right? I mean, the NHL wants his shine, which I get. You know, he's got huge followings and stuff, and he's boys with all the Toronto guys. But like I said to you when we were talking before this, if Justin Bieber got to skate warm-ups in full pads, why didn't Will Arnett? Why didn't Michael Bublé? Why didn't whatever that girl singer was? You know, why didn't
maybe they didn't bring their pads. I have no. I thought it was cool. Like he looked like a little kid that went to like his first baseball game in Yankee Stadium. Like he was just enamored by everybody around him. Like getting pictures with Crosby and McKinnon, and like he was super respectful of everybody, which I thought was really cool too. He played his first live performance in like 2 years or something like that. He had some issues.
Wait a minute, he doesn't do music anymore?
He had like serious issues with his vocal like stuff a couple of years ago, like real bad, where he had to like shut down a tour and stuff. So it was like the first time he'd performed in 2 years. I wish it was more NHL All Star Game, but it was kind of cool seeing some like he lived his dream and like the modern day rock star, the shit that guy's done. Holy shit. And to think that this meant that much to him, I thought was pretty cool. So that's why I have for that. And then challenges, McDavid wins the overall competition $1 million. I mean, that would probably have been the easiest bet of all time. Yeah. Fastest skater, McDavid. One-timers, Nathan McKinnon. Pasta video review. Of course, you put that in there.
Yeah, well, they said no. They said this is how ridiculous the video review is. They said Pastrnak won it, and then it went to a video review, and they realized he did not, and it was McKinnon.
Well, that's your boy, fucking Marty Walsh or whatever the hell his name is. Fucking passing Elias Pettersson, another video review.
Yeah, that was another one. Yeah.
Hardest shot, Cale Makar. Of course, they're going to give it to him. They rigged that 102 miles an hour. JT Miller within the 102 mile an hour class.
Yeah, they were like very close. If you see the points there, yeah.
Yeah, Makar was 102.56. JT Miller was 102.34. Stick handling, McDavid, one-on-one, Toronto, William Nylander versus Cam Talbot.
Hold on right here. So the way this worked, from what I read, is that you were allowed to pick your goalie. And Nylander was last in this competition heading into this part. So he walked up there and was like, he had all the pick of all the goalies. He's like, I'll take Cam Talbot. And he lit him up for like 9 goals or something, which I thought was awesome. Cam Talbot must have been like, God damn it.
Yeah, right. I wonder what their stats are against each other.
I'm sure he knew, right? But this is what made it great was that McDavid went last. And it was Georgiev, your boy, was the last goalie there. Like other people picked him, and he shut McDavid down. I guess he shut him on 9 shots. McDavid didn't score, it said.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, a blind squirrel finds a nut, dude. Yeah, and then the 3-on-3 tournament, Austin Matthews won the MVP. McDavid beat Team McKinnon 4-3. Matthews beat Team Hughes 6-5, and then Matthews beat Team McDavid 7-4. Now, one interesting thing, I think it was on 32 Thoughts. There were some rumblings around the All-Star weekend that some people took issue with the way that Team Matthews centermans were taking faceoffs, as in like you can't go too hard, you can't go too soft. But I guess Team Matthews centers were going extremely hard at the dot.
Who were the centers?
Austin Matthews and Vinny Trocheck. So Vinny Trocheck was at the dot hammering faceoffs, which I think is hilarious, dude. That made me laugh so hard. I'm like, because Vinny Trocheck is one of the 4 people like who had to pick a card, so nobody got picked last, which is so 2024. Holy fuck! Yeah. But I just thought that was sick that he's out there just banging.
Listen,
sticks, dude.
That elevates Vinny Trocheck in my mind that he was going hard at the dot.
I think that's hilarious.
There was a time years ago where Mike Milbury was the coach for the All Star Game, and coaches at that time, I don't know if they're still allowed to, but coaches were allowed to add players, like the coach's pick or something. And he put on Chris Nyland when Nyland was playing for the Bruins, and they were like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I want to see the first body check thrown in an All Star Game." And Nyland got injured, so he couldn't go, but Nyland was all set to go. And I guarantee you, Nyland would have laid someone out in the All Star Game. Would have been fantastic.
That would have been pretty funny.
So there you go. There's your All Star.
All Stars. And then it was also announced that we're going to have Olympic hockey, dude. The NHL announced the NHL players will be at the 2026 and 2030 Olympics, with the home teams getting automatic entry into the Olympics. That means that Italy, men ranked 18th and women ranked 18th, and France, men ranked 13th, women ranked 12th, get the auto bids. I'm so excited for this.
Yeah.
This is the first time in a while, like even that gold medal game that Crosby scored in overtime, like our team shouldn't even have been in that game. Like if you look at the rosters, like Team Canada was. Now you look at the rosters, it's gonna be fun watching the Kachuk brothers fucking wrangle some havoc out there, dude. Like that's gonna be pretty good. And I also saw
that puck, the puck that Crosby scored on.
You did?
At the time after that Olympics, that puck was at the Hockey Hall of Fame, and it was in a lucite case, and it had a hole like this big. And when you walked up, there was a girl standing there. She was a smoke, and you could ask her questions, and she was so schooled on the whole game and everything, and you could stick your finger and be like, and touch the puck.
I would have been really, really funny if you got your finger stuck in that thing.
Well, it was pretty big. I would have had to put my thumb, maybe.
What the fuck was I just gonna say?
We were talking about the Olympics, and you were talking about the rosters: USA, Canada,
Kachuk.
The Kachucks.
Oh yeah, and I think I read somewhere that it's not going to be on an Olympic sheet; it's going to be on an NHL sheet, and I think that actually will change some of the things in terms of who you're going to want on your team. I think Jacob Trouba has a way better chance of making Team USA now.
Actually, something I saw, they had like potential or projected. And I think Trouba was on it. Yeah, that's interesting. That must be the NHLPA.
I don't know, or the rink that they're building. I have no idea, but Olympic hockey's back. We love that.
Yep.
Washington, Evgeny Kuznetsov will be away from the team for an indefinite period of time to receive care from the player assistant program. There's been a lot of rumblings with this guy over the years. Laviolette and him didn't get along, in and out of the lineup, sort of. When he's on, he's dynamic. When he's not, it's like, what the hell's going on? So I'm hoping that, he gets the help that he deserves, because when he's buzzing, dude, he's a hell of a player. So thoughts go out to him. World Juniors impact. So Philly, New Jersey, and Calgary have been informed that they will receive cap relief for the players on leave for their criminal proceedings. London police apologized to the victim for the amount of time it took to bring these charges. And there's an entire new investigative team running the case, from the cops to the attorneys. I guess Hockey Canada needs to get a new batch of envelopes ready. A lot of people are pissed off that these teams are getting cap relief, but like, how is that on that? I know. How's that on them? It's not like
that's the most no-brainer thing that everyone should be able to agree on, is that these teams, unless it comes out, let's say it comes out that the team, it would have to be someone who was there on the, let's say the GM of the Flames knew that the player did this and hid it. That's the only way, you know what I mean? Because even if the GM of the Flames knew about it back then, he's not the GM of the Flames now.
Right.
You see what I mean? Yeah, it's just this thing. I'm just glad they wiped the slate clean, because it sounds like there was all kinds of shady bullshit that went on with this investigation.
And Gary Bettman, I pretty much said that a player is not going to be playing while this is going to be going on. So, as I said last week, I'm pretty sure their careers are over. But we'll see.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, if they are found innocent, then I will be on top of a fucking soapbox writing blogs and doing whatever I can to make sure they get another shot.
The morning skate brings them back.
Yeah.
Carolina Hurricanes announced that Freddie Anderson, who has been out since November due to a blood clotting issue, is set to resume on-ice activities. He will start with conditioning as work towards rejoining the team. So good for Carolina. That's going to be good for them to get him back.
Good. I hope he's okay. Blood clot's fucking scary, man.
He's one of those goalies where if he's on, he's
very good. Yeah.
The Winter Classic is going to be at Wrigley Field. It'll feature the Blackhawks and the Blues.
Hey, did you see the thing tonight in between periods? I was like in and out on the game tonight, but I did happen to see when Bedard was on and they were talking to him. How awkward are those videos? They're like, hey, Connor, Ace here. You know what I mean? And so,
Anson Carter is the most awkward analyst
but
in
even when
NHL
Biz,
history.
hey, Connor, Biz here, got 2 questions for you. It's just so forced and like, wow.
I don't think anybody's ever called Anson Carter Ace. He just seems like the dude who like
trying.
keeps trying to, yeah, you know what I mean? That guy who's like in an episode of Big Bang Theory, dude. Howard Wolowitz goes to NASA and he has to go to the moon or the
they
space
call them
station.
Fruit Loops, right?
Yeah, and he's like, and he plays Rocket Man. He's trying to get them to call him Rocket Man. His mom's like, Howard, do you want your Fruit Loops? So they started calling him that. So that's what Anson Carter reminds me of. Edmonton, the win streak comes to close at 16. They lost to Vegas 3-1. They remain tied with the 2016-17 Columbus Blue Jackets for the second longest winning streak in league history. Pittsburgh remains the longest at 17 wins in 92-93. I actually have a quick stat for you, dude. Do you want to hear one?
Absolutely.
Since the Penguins' 17-game winning streak in 92-93 season is receiving so much attention at the moment. A reminder, Mario Lemieux in those 17 games put up 27 goals, 24 assists, and 51 points. And he did it only weeks after undergoing 2 months of cancer radiation treatment.
Chemo, yeah.
Unfucking believable. That's Josh Yo, Pittsburgh beat writer.
I saw
Unreal
that actually earlier tonight.
Unreal stat. Oh my God. Breaking news.
So you know what? So if you say Hal's name 3 times on the microphone, he texts.
Yeah,
like Beetlejuice. Hey Hal, since you're listening, hope you can make it to Matthews on Saturday, buddy.
I called him. Guess what? He didn't pick up. The NHL expansion, the league has been fielding proposals and interest from Salt Lake City, Atlanta, Houston, Cincinnati, Kansas City, and Omaha. I don't know why, but Omaha would be cool for me.
I'm telling you right now, I feel Atlanta, fuck off. If you have had a team and fucked it up, you shouldn't get it back. And I don't mean like Quebec, the owner moved them to make money. I don't mean that situation. I mean Atlanta couldn't fill the building, so they left. Like, what are we doing?
It happened 2 times. It's like, I don't know. The Los Angeles Kings fired Todd McClellan and named Jim Hiller interim coach. McKellen had a record of 169, 138, and 44 overall with the Kings. The Kings are currently in the first wildcard spot, but only 4 points away from not qualifying. It's been a rough go as of late. They started the season 27-4 with 44 points, which was tied for best in team history after 31 games. But since December 28th, which isn't that long ago, they've gone
remember, there was the Christmas break and then the All-Star break. So
yeah, they've gone 3-8-6. Those 3 wins are the fewest in league over that time span. When Drew Doughty says what he said, you knew something was going to change in Los Angeles, which is a fact.
You know what's funny though? I was reading that, right? And they're like 44 points, bless you, which was tied for the best in team history after 31 games. Who's the guy at the PR department at the Kings that dug that one out? You know what I mean?
There's just these stat guys everywhere, dude. It'd be cool if we had a stat guy. If anybody wants to be a stat guy.
I understood how they did it.
I don't know. Just the
listen, put it this way, to show you about figuring out stuff. The lavalier mics, I threw in the towel. I'm going to a buddy's house tomorrow. I was like, I can't. I looked at the directions. I took out all the parts, and I went, I don't know what any of this is. So I texted him, I'm like, hey, can I come over to your house tomorrow with this and my laptop? He's like, absolutely. I was like, perfect.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Rangers, they placed Nick Bonino on unconditional waivers for the purposes of terminating his contract. They sent him down to the AHL, and they didn't have him report because they wanted the break, and then he was like, I'm not going down there. So whatever.
He wants to play. I don't blame him.
This kind of pissed me off. So the Rangers
I just put these in because you did the blogs. Ked did a couple or 3 blogs. So now it's me, Ked, Disco, and Booth that have blogs up. Hello, anyone else? Blog. So you had some blogs up, so I just referenced them so we can talk about them. So just to kind of refresh.
Yeah. So the Rangers.
You can do it in either order too, by the way.
There's a report that the Rangers won't trade their first round pick this season for a playoff push piece because the draft next season is going to be at the Sphere in Las Vegas, and guess who owns the Sphere? James Dolan, who owns the Rangers.
Not only does he own it, it was his concept. He fucking pushed it. I mean, I think he's more into this Sphere than the Knicks or the Rangers.
Well, we've gone almost 11,000 days without a Stanley Cup, so it's nice to know that our owner has his priority set. This is the craziest thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. The only way that this is okay is if Dolan knows he's like, hey, listen, we're not going to win a cup this year because we have Mika Zibanejad and Chris Kreider. Like, if that's the reason, whatever. If not, bring a hot tub on the stage, get in there, with the Stanley Cup. Watch all the other peasant organizations draft their players. Like, try to win a fucking Stanley Cup. This is insane to me. I didn't like it.
That's
And
fair.
then
I agree with you. Yeah.
And then the only other thing is a goalie controversy, which is now a controversy because Steve Valiquette came out and said, hey, you got to run quick or Igor.
I don't know. Someone said this about a month ago
Mhm.
on this podcast. Breaking news. That's the morning skate difference. You still want to hear it. You weren't ready for the truth at that time.
Well, actually, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this in time, but their stats since like December 26th, Igor's have actually been better. But the last few starts, Quick's looked really good. He beat the Lightning. Tonight, he's looked solid. He's been an absolute game changer for this team. I don't know. I remember when he picked him up.
In on him too quick, to be honest.
I mean, they were in a playoff spot, got rid of him, and then the Rangers signed him. A lot of people are like, why are you getting Jonathan Quick? Well, Benoit Lair. Like, Jonathan Quick has been out of his mind. I think he just it's my buddy Valeni, my Utica buddy. He said it's simple peewee hockey. Play the goalie that wins, and that's what I would do. If you're winning, it's your net. If you're not winning, it's the other guy's net. So we'll see what happens there. Winnipeg acquired Sean Monahan for a first-round conditional pick. Monahan is signed through the rest of the season for $1.985. He's a little under a point per game. Good pickup for Winnipeg, I think.
Winnipeg
down the stretch.
Looking good. They need to start resting Hellebuck, in my opinion. But what the fuck do I know?
Yeah. The PWHL is announcing takeover weekends where the league will play in places where they currently do not have teams. The league will have weekends set up in Detroit, Little Caesars, and Pittsburgh at PPG Paints Arena, home to the Wings and the Penguins, respectively. Both weekends will feature 2 games with 4 different PWHL teams playing. I think this is a showcase to see if there's people want to go there because they're going to expand, and those would be 2 cities to expand to.
Before you go any further, too, right now is going on. The game it might be over right now. The rivalry series picked back up this week for the women's the Canada US, and they're doing it only with PWHL players right now. Mm-hmm. They have a game tonight in Saskatoon, Friday in Regina, and then Sunday they play at the XL Energy Center. It's a 7-game series. Going into tonight, USA was up 3-0. So, but USA was also up 3-0 last year and lost. So we'll see.
And then the last story we have: the NHL announced a 4 nations face-off in February 2025. The nations will be Canada, USA, Finland, and Sweden. The tourney will be a round robin with each team getting 3 games. The scoring will be the PWHL medal: 3 points for regulation W, 2 points for overtime win or shootout win, 1 point for an overtime loss or a shootout loss, and 0 points for regulation loss. The 2 teams with the most tourney points will face off for a 1-game final. OT format will be 3v3 for a 10-minute period, then a shootout. The final overtime will be full strength sudden death until the winner. Games will be played in Montreal and Boston. This is pretty cool. Yeah, I was kind of pissed that they didn't include Russia or Germany or Czech because you're missing out. Really Slovakia, but at the same time, they announced that they're doing the Olympics, which kind of lessens that a little bit. But still, I mean, you're not really showcasing the best of the best.
I mean, I feel like you can make
Kopitar,
you can make this an 8 nations. You know what I mean? Easily enough. And do random drawing 1 through 8.
The only reason this isn't happening is because of what's going on in Russia right now.
Well, that has nothing to do with Czech. That has nothing to do with, these other. That has nothing to do with the other countries,
Yeah, but I feel like that's why.
It's the Eastern Bloc ones. Yeah, maybe. But when I talked to about the women's bean pot, we can't be mad at what we don't have. We have to be happy with where we're at and hopefully improve upon that.
Yeah.
That's their mentality. So
that's what we have for NHL news. Now we're going to dump and change.
A couple of sad ones to start off. R.I.P. Carl Weathers passed away at age 76 in his sleep at his home in Los Angeles, surrounded by his family. Weathers was famously known for playing Apollo Creed in the Rocky movies, as well as playing Chubbs Peterson and Happy Gilmore. He had a number of film and television roles to his credit, as well as playing in the NFL and the CFL for the Oakland Raiders and the BC Lions. He had 2 children. And then another sad one, Toby Keith passed away at age 62 from stomach cancer. Keith grew up working the oil fields in Oklahoma and moonlighted with his band, the Easy Money Band, at night in bars around the area. As the oil industry moved in a different direction, he tried his hand at semi-pro football to pay the bills and then went all in with the music side of his career and moved to Nashville. He was busking on Music Row in Nashville of no luck, and then a flight attendant that liked his music gave his demo tape to a Mercury record executive who signed him to the label. His hit, Should Have Been a Cowboy, went to number 1 in 1993, and his career took off. He was nominated for 7 Grammys and named the Country Entertainer of the Year 2 times. He had 32 number 1 hits, along with selling over 40 million records, survived by his wife and 3 kids.
There's been one other time where a celebrity death kind of affected me when Mac Miller died. I listened to, like, growing up in college, like, he was always kind of on in the background. So when he passed
Mac
away,
Miller was when you were in growing up?
Like college, high school, yeah. So when he passed away, like,
was Mac, I must be, wait.
Mac Miller's a rapper.
Huh, okay.
You have to look at, the Flyers had his
Nope.
his win song in the background for the classic. Remember when they were on HBO? No. But when he passed away, because in college, like, that's what was playing all the time. So, like, that kind of hit. This one hit way, way harder. I laid in bed for like an hour. Like, growing up, like, Toby Keith was always at my grandparents' house, barbecues, driving to hockey practice. Like, this dude was always on our
radio. A lot
of
people, that was a common thread on social media. A lot of people said driving to hockey.
And he fucking loved the United States of America, more than anybody. And he was on stage and he said, anybody who says you can't be patriotic, fuck them, or some shit like that. I don't know. And a lot of people, Taylor Swift's the biggest name on planet Earth, right? He was the one who signed Taylor Swift. So, like, without Toby Keith, is there a Taylor Swift? Who knows?
I'm sure there would be.
Toby Keith should have been a cowboy, dude. Courtesy of the red, white, and blue. Beer for My Horses, dude. So they're just absolute bangers. And really, really sad. I'm going to be listening to a lot of Toby Keith this week. So shout out to him.
Well, you have a long ride, so that works out.
I do.
Killer Mike, rapper, was taken away from the Grammys in handcuffs after winning 3 awards for the Best Rap Album, Best Rap Performance, and Best Rap Song. Allegedly, he threw a punch during a confrontation with a security guard trying to get into the venue. He was released on his own recognizance less than an hour later. So, oops. The 2026 FIFA World Cup final will be played at MetLife Stadium July 19th, with lead-up games being played at other NFL venues. FIFA came out and said, if you want us to come, fix the fucking grass.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL does not give a shit about their own players and will let the owners of the stadiums put in all that sport turf shit that grabs your knee and pops your Achilles and blows your ACLs. But when they want that FIFA money, everybody got in line. Mm-hmm. You think Aaron Rodgers and the Jets fans are like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. So that just shows you how much money FIFA brings, that the NFL was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the NFL is the biggest monolith in the United States in terms of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Crazy. So
I know my boy Safi and Kendall are going to probably try to go to one of those games. They're huge soccer fans. Like the way we like hockey, they do the exact same thing for soccer.
World Cup's pretty cool. I will watch some World Cup, to be honest.
I will. I would be way more into it if we were good, but Rangers, nothing. Still full blown boycott on them. So what do you got
Bruins
for your Bruins?
Came back last night and lost to Calgary. Since no one on a black and gold uniform played the first 30 minutes. Vancouver comes tomorrow night. Marchand got fucking rocked. I don't know if you saw that.
Clean hit.
Oh my God. And no one came to his defense. So that's the big talk around the city today, is that, and on TV last night, is that no one came to Marchand's defense. He had to fight it, stick up for himself. They talked about how when Trouba tried to decapitate Freddie, no one came to Freddie's defense. So I expect to see a very physical and confrontational team tomorrow night against Vancouver.
Sounds like the Bruins are soft, dude. That's what it sounds like.
Well, did you see the Kadri thing?
Dude. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. A lion and hyenas, dude. Yeah.
He's right. That's what the Panthers did to him.
Hey, ask Mufasa, dude. Yep.
Well, listen, if you don't want the tough answer, then don't ask the tough question. I know you're trying to chirp me, but I agree with Kadri.
No, I'm not even chirping you. I'm kind of going at Hal right now. So.
Oh. I'm your proxy bitch for Hal.
And Hal's old man, if he's still listening to this. All right, Rangers, Bruins, and then Northeastern, dude.
Oh, we are. You want to say it? This was your thing.
No, go for it.
We are the official podcast. We have been named the official podcast of Northeastern women's hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Big fucking deal. How you like them?
That's self-proclaimed, by the way.
Yeah, whatever. They signed off. Katie Knoll, friend of the podcast, was named Hockey East Player of the Week. She had a goal in 4 straight games and is riding a 5-game point streak. She now has 20 career game-winning goals, moving her into a tie with Kendall Coyne Schofield for second all-time in program history.
Big game player, dude. A 16-game player, dude. Love that.
That's it. And then Gwyneth Phillips, also a friend of the podcast, a.k.a. the Great Wall of Gwyneth.
Need T-shirts. You need T-shirts, Delaney. Those need to be done yesterday.
Has been named as a semifinalist for Goalie of the Year for the second year in a row. She won it last year. Numbers don't lie. 28 games played, a 1.22 GAA, and a 951 save percentage with 5 shutouts. That's NCAA Division I, and she's putting up those numbers.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, Nicole, are you listening? Nicole, out
Is
in
that
the
her name?
Midwest.
What an idiot. What an idiot. What a fucking idiot, Nicole, you are.
Yeah.
We're going to Northeastern, dude.
Yeah, we'll be at Northeastern. Friday night, they play UConn. They host both games this weekend. And then Saturday.
Is that a Husky off?
Huh?
Is that Husky on Husky crime?
It is a Husky off. Big dog, little dog. And UConn's number 1 in Hockey East right now, and Northeastern's 3rd. So that should be good. Okay. Yeah, we'll be there Saturday. Ked and I will have the run of the place. We'll be in there in the afternoon doing all kinds of content. We'll do a live podcast from historic Matthews Arena. And then we'll stay for the game, and we'll have some special guests on for a post-game wrap-up.
I saw that. I saw Coach Carp tweeted something out about how they got new merch. I don't know if you saw that tweet or not.
No, I did not.
I am an XL, so
I'll be texting Coach Carp. We're gonna try to get him to come on with my boy Todd. Ked in the press box. Apparently, that could be happening.
That is, oh man. I don't know how we got to where we're at now. Beer League Roundup. I've been so sick, dude. So I don't have anything with Beer League. Like quite literally nothing.
So as we've all known, I had that heart attack, whatever, and I've been battling back slowly. I have been working, trying to ramp up work, buddy. It's like 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I need to go to bed. I haven't made another game. And shout out to Johnny, the captain of the Sharks. He reached out yesterday or today or the day before. Just quick text, see how I'm doing. So the boys miss me, and I'm gonna try to hopefully get back soon.
All right. Hopefully next week we'll have a little bit more to offer you with Beer League Roundup. But all right, let's do some heroes and zeros. Okay, I just have a quick hero, dude. I have been probably the second sickest I've ever been in my whole life. Had a lot of shit happen to me this week. So my heroes are my friends. Friends and family, dude. Getting to hang out with my mom, getting to hang out with Clap, being able to call Clap. My buddy Thorpe showing up in my house and being like, we're going bowling and you don't have a choice. Just having good people in your life. So I told Clap today, the next 3 months are going to be about working overtime, morning skate, and working out. And I'm literally going to lock myself in here if I'm not doing those things. And then in 3 months from now, we'll see where we're at. But that's just formulating a plan with goals that you can hit and going after it. And I couldn't do it without the support group that I have around me. So shout out to those guys.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I have 2 heroes. My first, wait, do you have any zeros?
I don't have any zeros. Really quick, next Thursday, almost a week from now, is going to be our first watch party at Kings. So if you guys are in the area, make sure you head over there. Rangers, Kings, next Thursday.
I'm going to do my zero first. So my zero is there are too many stupid people in the country. And due to these stupid people, the rest of us have to suffer with forced upon safety things. Okay? Like
seatbelts.
Exactly, was written down. If you don't want to wear a seatbelt, don't wear a seatbelt. That's your choice. You fly through the window, you lose. Motorcycle helmets. You don't want to wear a helmet and splatter your brains everywhere. Go at it, right?
Cheers. Yep.
There's a viral. I don't know if it's real or not, but there was this viral thing where it was the gas nozzle at the gas station, and it said, "Do not put in your rectum." Like seriously, if someone puts that in their rectum, that's on them. Let them do it. I don't care. So I went to buy a gas can, like a small one, because I'm an idiot, and I put old gas in the chainsaw, and it did not go well.
Ooh.
So And then we were at this job, and I couldn't just pour it on the ground and light it on fire to get rid of it like I would normally do, because in case the homeowners were around. So I'm like, well, let's go buy a new gas can. So I went and bought a gas can, and I walk into Lowe's, and the gas can was $25 for a 1 gallon gas can because of all the stupid attachments. So I went to a hardware store and found one that was limited in safety features, but still safety features.
So I went to the gas station and I bought 4 2-liter things of water.
yeah, that's basically. At one point I said that, I'm like, I looked at the kid who works for me. I'm like, how much water you got in there? But so, anyways, let you know what? There's too many fucking people, right? So if we take away some of these safety measures, we'll thin the herd, right?
Yeah,
like our friend Tim Peel said, shorten the bench. Let's shorten the bench for the whole country.
Shorten the bench. I like that.
All right, so I have 2 heroes. One is, I'm going to do this one first. One is a kid who, the kid who always comments. He watches us live, Bryce. He's always chiming in. So Bryce made the police academy. And
congratulations,
he's going to be a cop. And I told him the exact words when he texted me. I texted him back. I go, I'm not typically a fan of small town cops, but I'm happy for you, and I don't be a dickhead. So
you're just trying to get one of those stickers. I see where you're at.
No, I told him I want a sweatshirt. But yeah.
No, the sticker for the car, dude. Do you guys have those in Massachusetts?
Doesn't do anything.
It's
urban legend.
No, it is not.
Urban legend.
Maybe where you're from. From here, it is not.
Oh, I don't know. Where you're from is basically the Dukes of Hazzard, so that's why. So yeah, shout out to Bryce. He's one of my heroes. Then my other hero is PWHL Ottawa star Lexi Adzija. I'm gonna go with.
They always make these names so fucking hard.
Yeah, but what she did is she showed up. Apparently, this girl Lexi is super engaging with all the fans, like all the PWHL stars are, and she's leading the team in points right now, which is great. But this girl was like 10 to 12 years old. It was on her mom put it up on social media. This girl Lexi knocked on the door, and the girl came to the door, and they're like, "It's Lexi," and they freaked out. She came in with a stick, and Lexi was like, "Oh, you didn't know I was coming?" And they're like, "No," and the mom's like, "We wanted to be a surprise." She brought a sign stick. She hung out with the girls. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, and stick taps. Katie Noel was going to do that, but she had a scheduling thing. Katie Noel was going to come to my daughter's birthday party, so. Good on these women hockey players for doing that.
That is really cool. And so this isn't a hero or a zero. It would normally be a hero, but this guy's such a zero that I can't make it a zero. So this is my or of the week. Okay.
Your what?
My or hero or zero. This is gonna be my or.
Or I thought you meant like Bobby Orr.
No, this is gonna be my or of the week.
Okay.
David Pastrnak walking into the rink wearing a Alina Mueller jersey.
Oh yeah. He probably knows her. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
They all wore the.
She shouldn't hang out with him though. She doesn't want to play that style of hockey. I keep it clean.
Yeah. Alina's above the fray.
Yeah, way above pasta. So we have 3 stars. All right, 3 stars of the week. So we're doing live podcasts where we want them, right?
Yeah, in honor of going to Matthews, we're saying where are our top 3 places to do live pods.
Okay. My 3rd star would be Clapped Boat. This is an obvious one. Just out there, just ripping a podcast on Clapped Boat. I think that would be hilarious. Go down to Sandy Bay.
And now that we got these wireless mics, when I'm there, I could be ripping up the wakeboard and talking to you.
We would just need Wi-Fi, and we could actually make that happen.
Well, you just need a hotspot. You just bring your phone.
Yeah, we could actually probably make that happen. So
clap bombs. I'm gonna make him shotgun like Irish car bombs. We'll call them clap bombs.
So like normally you need a like a knife or a key to shotgun a beer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like those little metal pieces on the side of the boat that you tie your buoys to.
A cleat.
A cleat. He uses the cleat. It's bang, you're ready to go. I knew you'd like that stuff.
How's his child? Healthy and doing well.
Dude, doing unbelievable.
That's awesome.
Cute little shit, dude. Very, very, very cute. Happy baby.
Well, hopefully him and his wife are getting sleep and everything's good.
Well, I was supposed to hang out with him that night, and I knew I was getting a little bit sick, and I knew my mom had gotten sick, and I was like, I don't
do it.
So I hung out with everybody else, and then I texted everybody else. I'm like, hey, by the way, I might have this. And then I called him. I'm like, I'm not trying to make this a big deal, but I was hanging out with so-and-so. He's like, no, dude, I appreciate it. Don't even worry about it. So everything's good.
Cool. All right. So I have All right, I'll do my honorable mentions afterwards. My third star is the Boston Bruins dressing room. How sick would that be?
That would be really cool. I didn't even put the Rangers dressing room on mine.
Well, that wouldn't be that great. That's why.
Well, it's the Mecca, dude. So
it's a dump. That old.
You'd have trouble getting in, but that would be really cool, dude. I'd stand right on the Boston Bruin B too. It'd be.
I think in the remodel, it's projected on the ceiling. Actually,
it's not like anybody in that team's going to do anything to me anyway. So
that's a fair point.
My second star. I grew up playing Corinth youth hockey outside. It's basketball courts that put boards up around.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool to do one during the summer, like on the basketball courts with the board surrounding us. Do one there,
nice.
Like where I grew up playing hockey.
In my honorable mentions, I have a few outdoor things. My number 2 star. Have you ever been to the Hockey Hall of Fame?
No, that would be sick though.
So the Hockey Hall of Fame is an old bank, I think.
They hit us up a lot on Instagram, asking us to share stuff. Yeah.
Oh, we should definitely do that. So the Hockey Hall of Fame, I believe it's an old bank. I feel like mea culpa like as it's happening, but they call it the trophy room. It's the main room. I think it's a bank because there's a vault door, I think. But anyways, it's this huge room, and that's where they keep the cup. That's where they have all the faces of the people that are enshrined, and it's stained glass at the top. So I would want to do a live podcast from the trophy room. That'd be sick.
That would be unbelievable.
Yeah.
I think my no-brainer number 1 star would be Game 7 Stanley Cup final. Like at the whatever rink it was at. I think that would be unbelievable. The atmosphere. Can you imagine how jacked up it would be? Like,
what if it was like two teams you hated? You know what I mean? And you're like
Islanders, Coyotes at the Mullen Arena.
Yeah. Well, no, Mullen Arena would probably be pretty good, but what if it was in New York?
But dude, if it was if you're Kenton and it's the Battle of Alberta,
that'd be sick.
That would be fucking unreal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's good.
It's hard because back in the day, the Rangers and Devils, do you think rivalries? I know that the NHL is trying to jam rivalries down our throats and stuff. They've kind of gone away, right? Are there really any Boston Montreal is not Boston Montreal. Rangers Devils is not Rangers.
It's not the same as it was. There's still a little juice to it. I think the problem
not nearly as what it used to. Dude, that used to carry over 4 seasons.
Yeah. But what I think they're let's say Boston Montreal. It's not the same as it was, but there's still a little juice to that game versus a regular game, right?
Yeah,
it's just a little bit. But the problem is the way the divisions are set up, and it used to be out of 82 games, you played 40 in your division.
Yeah.
But now with stars, they want to have every star play in every rink, and
rivalries were so much I wish. And I know I'm supposed to hate the Devils. I know I'm supposed to hate the Islanders. And I still hate them when they play, but I just don't get that from the players.
Well, you're also getting older too.
Yeah, but you don't see that from the players though. Back in the day, you could tell
now everybody's buddy with everybody, and they work out together in the off season.
I can't stand that.
Who? I don't know who was it when we were talking to Tim Peel? No, it wasn't that. I must have heard it on a podcast, but they were talking about how you couldn't have guys you couldn't invite players to summer golf charities that played for the Bruins and the Canadiens because they'd fight. You know what I
know. I want that back desperately.
Agreed. But free agency eliminated a lot of that because everybody knows everybody.
I guess, but fuck, man. I don't know if it's the lack of some of these teams just not having these alpha dudes on their teams. I don't, because you see the Bruins still try to push around the Canadians. That's still there.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Rangers don't ever go at somebody really on the Devils. It's different than what it used
game
to be.
I watched earlier this year. They were beating the crap out of the Hughes brothers.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. It's not the same, and it's sad. I wish it was different, but nonetheless.
All right, well, my number 1, you could probably guess it. Jerome McGinley's house.
Oh, my God, dude.
How great would that be?
The room Jerome McGinley grew up sleeping in as a kid.
No, his current house with him there. We're sitting around the kitchen table.
We got to get, it'd be really funny is if
we get all his kids on before him.
No, dude, we got a clip of every time you say the Jerome McGinley thing.
That would be so creepy, dude.
I don't think so. I think it would show how, well, Dude, it's so excessive that I think it'd be funny / like commitment to the thing. And like honestly, if we don't do it, it's gonna be a no anyway. We should see if we could kind of clip every single time you did that,
I
put a
don't know how
video
to do
together,
that,
and find out if I can get an email address or something of his. I could reach out to Kenton or somebody where we could, and I'll go through and I'll clip them all.
We can send it to the Flames. He'll get it.
Yeah, but no, we want to go directly to him.
I do know someone who has his phone number, but I haven't wanted to use that. I wanted to get it on my own valor.
Are they friends?
Enough that he could call him, I think.
Oh, dude, use it. I don't know what you're doing.
I want to earn it,
That is earning it. You're networking.
All right, so let me give you my honorable mentions. Bergeron's house, right? If I'm going to go to Iggy's, you might as well go to Bergey's.
55 minutes. That's one of the longest ones it's taken you.
Is it Lake Louise? Is that lake?
Yes.
Yeah. The Saddle Dome, because I just love the Saddle Dome. And Lake Placid would be sick.
Lake Placid's doable.
Yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be sick?
Very doable.
I just think that'd be sick. I've never been there.
Next year. This is something we're going to start it now. They do a Can-Am tournament every year. We'll sign up for like the D or C division. We'll invite everybody from our morning skate team. If anybody wants to fly in or whatever, we'll all get a house. And the remaining spots we can fill with just our buddies.
Okay. That
would be so much fun, dude. That would be epic. It'd be sick. I bet we could convince like Fink and Disco and those guys to come.
Well, Fink's a big time muckety muck now, so
I think he would. I think he'd go. Yeah, he is kind of. He is kind of like Gordon Bombay D2, right? Like,
you know what?
A little bit too Hendricks Motorsports.
The Fink would come if he knew how much it enrages me to wear that stupid fucking visor. Then he would definitely be like, he'd probably show up with one for everybody.
How about this? If you wear the visor, Fink will come.
Oh. If Fink comes, I'd consider it. That's the only way I would ever do it. All right.
All right. Talk about the house. That's gonna be sick. All right. That was this week's podcast. Brown, do you have anything else for the people at home?
Oh, my offer still stands. If anyone needs me to make them a motivational poster, I'm happy to do it. You just supply me with the poster board, and I will supply the marker, and you tell me what you're shooting for, and I will send that to you. So that's still out there.
When did that happen?
That was wasn't that last podcast? We were talking about like people manifesting their dreams, and I'm like,
are you actually have you made one yet?
No one's asked me to. Someone asked me.
Make me one, dude.
Gibby, you gotta give me 3 things that you want to achieve next year, and then I will make you one.
And from now until December 31st?
No, from what's today's date? February 9th?
February 7th. February 7th to February 7th.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's have to be a calendar here. Give me 3 things. I'll put those 3 things, and I'll incorporate it with positive mantras that go towards those goals.
I'm gonna do that. I'll give you 3 things.
All right, buddy. This is what weed is made for.
All right, man. Well, guys, thank you for listening at home. One last thing,
God bless you, Jerome McGinley, wherever you are. Just in case you do clip this, I didn't want not to have one.
There it is. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you this weekend.
And if you're at Matthews, come by and say hi. Give us a wave.
Boston area. Hell yeah. Stop by. I'm pumped. It's gonna be fun to meet everybody.
It's gonna be sick, man. It's gonna be sick.
All right, guys. Well, take it easy, and we will talk to you soon.